All right, so we're going to go over the pricing, the installation rates here real quick. So basically, this is what we charge when we invoice or what we get paid when we um, do jobs through HDIS. Now, it's a little bit more challenging on CDI because their price sheet is a little bit different, and I might have to actually upload that and send that as well. But they're all kind of sort of the same thing. So I will try to find the CDI one and send that as well. But just wanted to go over these real quick because this is what we're going to be invoicing. So this is the new one. I just want to show you that's the new one as well. I must have actually deleted the old one, which I didn't mean to do. Oh, here we go. So these are the old HDIS prices. So HDIS, Hunter Douglas comes up with certain prices that they pay their installers to do window treatments. So Hunter Douglas's price is a very good price, and it's allows us a good opportunity to go into the market and do a good job at a good price and get paid well for doing it. So basically, what I've done is any independent dealer that we work with outside of HDIS, I go ahead and use the same prices that Hunter Douglas uses. So Lowe's is quite a bit less than what we normally charge. My goal is to, this is a side note, but when I started with Lowe's, they said their average close rate on a job is 60%. What does that mean? So when we go in and do a measure, they say 60% of the time they win that job. As I've been doing this, I've seen that number much, much higher than 60%. So I believe that what I'm doing or what we're doing as a company is creating value by winning more of these jobs by going in and doing a really good job because there's few good companies out there. So my goal is to later down the road go to the Lowe's and basically pitch them on raising the prices a little bit. But they are definitely significantly lower than what we normally charge. CDI is just under Hunter. Like I said, I'll go ahead and attach CDI's price list and send that as well. But they're just under price, or they're just under Hunter. But Hunter is what we base our price off of. So if somebody calls us and says, "What does it cost to get this installed?" These are our prices. Now, not to confuse you, I wanted to show you. This is the old prices. We are actually getting ready to up these. And why are we getting ready to up these? Because Hunter Douglas actually upped their rates. So I don't know if I'm going to... Actually, I will send this in case you need it. But some of these have gone up and some of these have actually gone down. But I think it's going to work out to our favor because what it's gone up on is actually better for us, and we do that quite a bit more than the ones that have gone down. But basically, minimum installation fee. So if we have two shades to install, you see right here, installation fee. Shades is 17. Remember, this is the old sheet. Shades are 17 per each, for each individual shade or blind. So that would technically be $34 for those two shades. However, up here we have a minimum installation fee. So we would not go do that job for $34. We would have to do that for $65. Because, for us to do a job for $34, it just isn't worth our time to go do it. So we set a minimum installation fee. Service call, minimum service call. Now, maybe a shade needs adjusted or something like that. It might only take us 10 minutes, but we're charging $65. Now, if we have I believe, I have a service call coming up that I got to adjust. I believe it's 10 or 12 shades. I've got to take them down, move them back in the window opening, make adjustments, and then they were installed incorrectly by another company the first time. So I've got to patch and paint holes. That is not a $65 job. That's going to be, a couple $100 job to do that. But that's just our minimum service call fee. Measure. When we go and measure for windows, it's based on the number of openings. Now, once again, this is just for Hunter Douglas and the charges that, or the rates that we charge. Lowe's, obviously, they have a set $35 amount. I believe CDI has a set $50 or $60 amount. But our prices and Hunter Douglas prices, their price is based on the number of openings. This changed a little bit with the new one, but just once again, this is the old one, and I'll actually put 2017, and then I'll put the updated 2018. I'll mark them as that. Excuse me. This is the installation fee for specific product. So blinds $17 each, shades $17 each. Vertical products. This does not mean draperies. This means vertical blinds, luminettes are a vertical product. Anything that moves vertically, we get $7.50 per linear foot. I believe that moved up a little bit. Shutters are $3.50 per square foot. Remember how to work up square foot. Basically, you take, if a window is 36 by 60, 36 divided by 12 is 3 foot. 60 divided by 12, and the reason I'm doing it by 12 is there's 12 inches in a foot. 60 divided by 12 is 5. So 3 times 5, so the width times the height, 3 times 5 is 15. Then what you would do is multiply that 15 by the 350, and that's what it costs to install that shade, essentially. Or not that shade, that shutter. Skylights, they're square foot as well, and then valances or cornices are $2 per linear foot. So if you got 144 inch valance, you divide that by 12, and you got 12 linear foot. So you would multiply 12 by 2, which is 24. That being said, those are our base rates. These are our surcharges, in addition to charges listed above. So, let's go ahead and, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get out of this. You could take a look at this. I'm going to get into the new one, so it's not confusing. Here's the updated one. So you'll see that actually up to $75, which is good. That went from $7.50, I believe, to $8, $17 to $18, $3.50 to $4. I mean, it all kind of bumped up. The tall window changed. I mean, just about everything changed on here a little bit. So you'll notice right here, take down shades, they have a 1 by it. It just says this does not include haul away. So if for some reason we need to haul away a product or whatever, we can determine that price later. I can't believe what you might want to do is we might just even make, so we go into this one here. I think they have a haul away. No, they don't have a haul away. We can determine that price separately. It was just easier for me to basically copy Hunter Douglas's and put our logo on it. So it might be harder to just put a haul away category in here. But let's go ahead and do a sample. Let's go ahead and do a sample invoice. Let's go ahead and say we got 10 blinds to install. 2 of those were on doors, which we put hold down brackets on. 1 of those blinds was a high ladder, high window. And then we took down 10 blinds. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what the installation is, and then find out all the surcharges above that. So we said we're going to do 10 blinds. So that we go to the blinds, it's $18 per unit. So 10 times 18 equals 180. Two of those were on doors, which we installed hold down brackets on. So you'll go right here, install hold down brackets, 3 per pair. So obviously on one blind, you have a pair of hold down brackets. So we had 2 of those. So 2 times 3 is 6. We had 1 high window, tall window. If opening, I guess it's 12 foot, but that's okay. Say this was normally, if we're using a ladder, a tall ladder, it's normally the top of the opening is roughly about 18 foot, so it's pretty high. But one of those windows was high, so that's $30. And then we took down 10 blinds. So shades, blinds, same difference. It's going to be $10 per unit. So 10 times 10 is 100. So now what we do is we got the 180 for installing the 10 blinds. We got the $6 for installing the hold down brackets. We got the 30 for the high ladder, and then we got the 100 for taking down shades. So that comes out to $316 to install that job. So we'll just go ahead and do another one here. Say we have we figured it out. We installed shutters on 3 windows. Those 3 windows were 36 by 60, so 15 square foot a piece, which equals 45 square foot of shutters. We took down 3 blinds on those windows that we installed the shutters on. We caulked. They were all inside mount L-frame shutters, and we caulked around each one of them. And the customer was a 100-mile round trip away from the dealer. So what we do is we had those 3 windows. Each were 15 square foot. So 3 times 15 equals 45 square foot. So now what we do is we go up to our shutters here. 45 times 4 equals 180. We took down 3 blinds. So 3 times 10 is 30. We caulked around each one of those windows. So you'll notice down here, caulking, $12 per opening. So there were 3 openings. Times 12 is 36. And the customer was a 100-mile round trip from the dealer. So mileage over 50. So what you'll do is you would just take the 100 minus 50. You have 50 left over. And then what you do is take 50 times 150, and you got $75. So we got the 180 for installing the shutters in those 3 openings at 15 square foot per window, plus the taking down the 3 blinds for $30, plus $36, $12 an opening for caulking, plus $75 for mileage, which comes out to $321. So essentially, for us to install that is exactly $321. And obviously this is a labor charge, so there is not going to be any tax associated with this. So that is our final install charge, is the $321. So Now that we've kind of worked with this a little bit, you just kind of go through and look. This is a big one. High-rise condo. It's $60 per visit. Special access fee. Like I was saying, basically, if I can get into a condo or high-rise without a problem, then I won't charge for this. But a lot of times when we do an install in a condo or a high-rise, we have to use the elevator, which is sometimes a big headache. So that's kind of when I charge that as the $60 there. Scaffolding required if it's a huge job, hardwired motorization, or any other unlisted charges. So these two down here would be unlisted charges that we would have to bill separately. So if we get into a situation like that, then we can do that. So that's for blinds, shades. Here's our drapery pricing. So basically, this is all self-explanatory. A pole / rod with rings and drapes up to 120 inches tall is $9 a square foot. So if we got a traverse rod, a single traverse rod with drapes is $9.75, and a double with drapes is $10.25. Extended width. So say the width is so this says up to 120. Actually, I've never thought about this, but the extended width over 12 inches or over 12 foot, which is 144 inches, there's a gap between 120 and 144. I would just say charge the $9 up till the 12 foot or the 144. So say the rod was 144. Actually, say the rod was 100 and let me see here, just one second. Over 12 foot, an additional 3 feet. Okay, got it. So basically, if it's 120, we're charging $9 a square foot, or one of these two. What you do is anytime it's over 144 is you add this to the price. So if it's 144, or excuse me, let's use 158. What you would do is, say we're just doing the rings, drapes up to 120 inches tall, and totally excuse me, there is not a gap on, I just confused you. So this is 120 inches tall. Tall is not the same thing as width. So basically, these are the prices up to the 144, the 12 foot in width. This right here is tall. That has nothing to do with this down here. So I apologize for confusing you on that. If they are, let me see here. I actually don't know what we would charge if they're taller than that. That's probably going to be a situation to where it's a tall ladder opening, and I would actually probably charge more than that. So if you get into a situation where the drapes are over 120 inches tall, just let me know and we'll figure that out. But back to what we were talking about here, the extended width. So 12 foot is 144 inches. Say the width is 100 and just go a foot over, 156 inches. What we do is just tack that 350 onto the $9, and it's $12.50 per linear foot. So if you got a 156 inch rod, it's $12.50 per linear foot instead of the 9. Or just tack on 350 to that or that if it goes over 12 feet. Removed existing treatment / hardware. Obviously, this is talking about existing drapery. It's $3.50 a square foot. This does not include haul away. So we would just charge an extra fee for haul away. Might actually have you add or note haul away fee for drapery and shades. So maybe just get back with me on that. Drapery only on pre-existing rods. So obviously, if we're just adding drapery to an existing pole, so say they already have the hardware and the pole hung, and we're just putting drapery on, and it's 144 inches, then we divide that by 12. You got 12 foot. 12 times 6 is what we're going to charge to hang that drapery. Steaming, that's variable. I normally include that unless it's, a pretty big opening. This is basically just saying bay window, because obviously you're cutting angles, or if you're drilling into concrete or steel, it's going to be an additional $3.50 a square foot. So say we're doing this, say we're doing the single traverse in a bay window, or say we're doing it on concrete. Say it's in a high-rise condo. What you would do is you would charge that, or whatever it is. Say it's the pull and rings at $9 a square foot. It's in a high-rise condo, so we're going to charge the high-rise fee from our pricing list previously. And then if we're drilling into concrete, we're going to add an additional $3.50 to that amount. So technically it would be $12.50 per linear foot. Then we're going to add the high-rise fee. So the high-rise fee and all those surcharges, they do apply to the drapery price. I just wanted to kind of separate the drapery from that. So all those surcharges, the mileage, let's go back here and just look. The service fee, that would apply. The minimum install fee of $75, that would apply. Say we're just putting a 4-foot rod up at $9 a square foot, or excuse me, at $9 a linear foot. 4 times 9 is what, 36, I believe? Yeah, 36. So obviously, we got to charge the minimum install fee of $75. But mileage, tall window, additional tall window. On some drapery jobs, we do take down products. That wouldn't count. Installing into a hard surface, this is different. That's per blind, and we already got the install into hard surface and what the charge is for the drapery, so that is different. PowerView, they do have PowerView drapes, but we've never done that. So if you run into that, they do have a pricing sheet from Hunter for that. Template, that doesn't apply to drapery. Special access fee, that would apply. Caulking does not apply. None of that applies. And then anything else. So some of these surcharges still do apply, and then make sure that you know that hard surface is different from blinds and drapery. But there you have it. If we're installing anything crazy like that, which I've never done, a bed skirt or a headboard, that's exactly what would happen, is they could add that to an existing job, and we would just charge $30 to do that. And that's simple. If that's the only service that we're doing, it's not going to be $30. It's going to be the minimum service charge of $75. So there you have it. That's that. If you have any questions on how to price that, that is totally okay. We'll probably have you just run everything through me before you invoice, and we will be good to go. All right. I will see you on the next video. Thank you.